Well, greetings. G'day, good afternoon, maybe good morning or good whatever it is, wherever you are listening to us across the big musical world of the World Wide Web. Greetings and welcome to Australian Radio Indie Music Scene Broadcast and Podcast. This is episode number 2, Jonesy. 2. Yeah.
That one.
No. If you have missed last week's program, feel free to go back and watch. Just search Australian Radio Indie on YouTube. As we broadcast this show for the first time on Sunday night, it's 6 p.m. on the central coast of New South Wales, Australia, 10 a.m. in Germany and France, and a very early 3 a.m. in Nashville and Chicago. If you're watching us on YouTube or listening to a replay, then the time may be a little different. Just check out the clock on the bottom of your screen if you want to know what time it is. Good morning to Karen and Godfrey listening in Bridport in the UK, and good afternoon to Andreas in Bali.
Bali would be nice.
Oh, Bali would be nice this time of year. If you want a shout out to you or your town, leave a comment and your name and location in the YouTube comments, and we'll be sure to mention you at some point. If you want the chance to win a CD by Chantell Alexi, we have a couple of CDs, so we'll see how we work. Jonesy, how are we going to give away some CDs?
Well, we've got some giveaways for this show and for upcoming shows. We'll probably go with just leave a comment in the comments, but I love more comments the better, but only for the giveaway. If you want a CD, we've got a lovely CD at the moment from Chantell Alexi. The Leather Holster is the album, and just say 2 questions. You'll have to write one answer now, and I'll give you the second question later, so that you have to write these 2 words. The first one will be, what's your favourite running shoe? That's it.
Oh, can it be a walking shoe? I don't run.
Okay, well, a walking shoe.
Okay, sports shoe.
Yes. What's your favourite sports shoe?
Okay.
And then it'll be a hyphen, and you'll have to write the second answer, which will be later on in the show. I'll give you that question as well.
That sounds okay. So, sports shoe. Remember that one. Answer, sports shoe. Okay, that's not too hard. Anyway, thanks for your positive feedback from our first podcast. This week we promised to be a little tighter, but we'll see what happens. We might ramble again. But before we start out... Ramble, that's the name of the game. But before we start out, we might send our thoughts and best wishes to all those affected by the extreme weather events over the last week in the USA. Sometimes it's a little crazy out there, so just take care and be safe. I know that you've got your friends in the Carolinas. I've got some friends in the USA, so yeah, they're all safe at the moment. Yeah. But you never know what these storms and firestorms are going to do.
Yes, it's a bit of a worry, but our friends our mates, we've got all of you lovely Americans are our mates in the States. That's the way to say it. Our mates in the States. G'day, mate. How are you? Yeah, the Carolinas too. They're only getting the storm relatively today, which is where sometimes Sunday, and they're getting the just the aftermath, so they're really not as badly affected as others. Yeah, but I was talking to my mate Tim the other day, and he just said it was they're feeling for the south, but the poor people down Alabama.
We were only singing about the Gulf Coast. We only were discussing the Gulf Coast, Gulf of Mexico last week in that song by Carolyn Jones, Gulf Coast Girl.
Yes.
So
she'll be a bit wet this week.
Yeah, you would definitely be wet. Anyway, this week we've got some fantastic music for you, but before we start, Jonesy, what you got up to this week?
Personally, this week I had to go to the usual Australian curse. It is the sun doctor, and they go over all your skin and they say, "Ooh, this one looks nasty." So he took. Usually I've had a lot of
burns. I've got a couple of I went the week before and I've got a couple. I've got a burn here and a burn here, and I'm going, how did I get the burn up here?
Yeah, well, usually they cut chunks into me. They it likes me apparently, or my skin doesn't like the sun. But the good news is he took a little bit out, but the bad news is that I got a phone call yesterday and they want me to come back. So that's usually they didn't get enough.
And I used to have my boyish looks have been ruined. I think I've had a
You still got your boyish looks, mate.
No, anyway. If you're in Australia and listening to us,
Cover
go
up.
to the skin doctor.
Yeah, slip, slop, and slap is what they
And
say.
That's what they say. Anyway, as for me, COVID means venues aren't engaging artists, so I spent this week re-establishing some old music connections, listening to some new music and swanning about in the garden. But I did do the slip, slop, slap, Jonesy.
Yes, and for our overseas, our mates in the States and wherever else you're watching this, slip, slop, and slap means, was it slip on a shirt?
Slip on a shirt.
Slap on put on, slip, slop on a hat, was it?
Slop on some sunscreen and slap on a hat. And I think there's another one now, so
yeah, that's the
slip, slop, slap. We're old school.
Old school.
That's how we remember it.
Definitely old school. Unfortunately, time goes way too fast. Also, this week I've just spent time. Was this close to going down to the Erina, to the venue down there for the Wednesday night jam session, open mic night, and a few little things come up, and I just didn't get down to that. But definitely going to give that a whirl next week. My mate who did go down there said it was a fun night, so we had a good time. Yeah.
Oh, perhaps I should apologise. I don't have the COVID, but I do have the nasty throat. And Jonesy's just given me a eucalyptus lolly, which is about the size of a
penny.
It's big, and a big penny, and an old Australian penny. Anyway, let's get back to the music. What do we got? Anyway, if you watched last week, you remember how I managed to get a link between seeing Kenny Chesney in Des Moines, Iowa, and my cancelled trip for this year, and our first song by Carolyn Jones. Tonight I've got another collaboration between an international artist and an Australian indie singer. Jonesy, hands on the buzzer. Right?
Hang on. Yep.
If I ask you for a song about a fusion of heavy metal and bluegrass into a country rock classic that uses synthesized bagpipes as an intro to a song, who are you going to go?
Synthesized bagpipes. Well, the only real bagpipe song that comes to mind is the fantastic band AC/DC, and that was back in the 70s, I think, when they were on back of a flatbed truck going down Main Street of Melbourne. And
Melbourne at the moment, that'd be the highway to hell, wouldn't it?
Oh, good one. Hang on.
Where's our button? That one wasn't rehearsed.
You get two for that.
Anyway, no. Okay, here's another hint, Jonesy.
Wow.
What about if I say?
Bagpipes, yeah.
What about if I say the road sign?
Yep.
This song title was stolen so many times, the local authorities changed the original name of the road to Copperhead Hollow Road.
So now we're talking about Copperhead Road with the great man Steve Earle.
That's right, Steve Earle of Copperhead Road fame. Jonesy gets a prize.
There you go.
Anyway, Steve Earle of Copperhead Road fame teams up with Angus Gill, up-and-coming Australian singer, to sing a great new song, only released this week.
Yeah, right.
So, we've got this song. So, Angus, award-winning singer-songwriter, producer.
Not this Angus.
There's that link. Last week we had the Jones link, and now we've got Angus.
AC/DC, Angus, it's not Angus Young, obviously.
No, Angus Gill. Angus Gill.
Right.
So, singer-songwriter, producer, engineer, multi-instrumentalist. So, Angus, a little bit about Angus. He started his career as a 10-year-old entertaining crowds at Timbertown.
Up Port Macquarie way.
Up Port Macquarie. Wauchope was his hometown. Yep. So, it's a few hours up the road from us. He won the Male Rising Star of the 22nd Australian Independent Country Music Awards.
Right, yep.
Sounding pretty good. This is the craziness. He opened for Chris Christopherson. That's where I saw him, up in Newcastle last year. And I'm going, geez, I like this guy. And then you go home and you go, and it was only when I was doing some research, he's become one of the youngest Australians to perform on the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow, yeah.
So obviously he's gaining
He's got talent.
He's got talent. He's gaining a strong reputation, and he was a finalist for a Traditional Country Album of the Year at this year's 2020 CMAA Golden Guitar Awards. So he's got a new project out, and he's teaming up. It's called Angus Gill and Seasons of Change, and he's teaming up with members of the Paul Kelly Band.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
And it was alt country legend Steve Earle, who introduced Angus back to the band in 2017. So there's all those links again.
Yeah.
And Steve features on this country duet, The New Old Me. So the song New Old Me was written by Angus Gill and Alan Caswell. The song talks about change and transformation.
What a great songwriter that guy is.
Alan's now got a book out.
You're kidding? No, I didn't know that.
No, he's got a book out on how to write songs, I think it is.
I might need to purchase that one. What lovely. We should try to connect with Alan.
Alan's got some absolutely fantastic songs.
I love that song, Bastards at the Bar. Have you heard that one?
And Stupid People.
Wow.
You know that one, Stupid People?
Yeah, I've heard that one,
Yeah, that's a couple of good songs there. Anyway, I guess... so the song talks about change, and one of the lines is...
I keep throwing him, people. I keep throwing him.
Yeah, that is, I had a flair for screwing up, as most of you would agree. Welcome to the new old me, Jonesy. Can you identify with that line?
I think you're not on your Pat Malone there, my friend. No.
Anyway, so it seems Steve Earle told Angus to toughen up, and that's just what Angus did. So how does Angus get Steve on the record and establish a friendship? He was overseas. He went to a songwriting retreat with Angus in New York 6 years ago, or with Steve.
Yep.
Steve saw the promise of the then 16-year-old, and the two became friends at age 22. 22.
Wow.
Okay. He's got 2 albums out. There's a third about to be released next week.
Nice.
And this the next album, I think it's going to be a bit of a storytelling album, because the album's called 3 Minute Movies.
Okay.
So it's going to be, I think, songs about
movies.
Well, no, I think it's about cramming, a bit like cramming a story.
Oh,
into 3 minutes.
Doing a songwriter.
Yeah.
Doing a storyteller song.
Storytelling song.
Yep.
So with COVID restrictions in place, it's a little hard to get Steve Earle to fly out here. So it's a lyric video with Old West animations. So I'm suggesting let's have a listen to Angus Gill and Seasons of Change, where he teams up with Steve Earle in The New Old Me.
Let's get it on.
Get it on.
Well, there's some things I wouldn't do just for the sake of change. Anger once used whiskey is a shortcut to my brain. Well, I'm the last man standing from a happy bunch of fools who thought that they were big enough to kick against the rules. Well, I had a flair for screwing up, as most of you'd agree. Oh, welcome to the new old me. They used to put their crap on me like I was just a kid. You told me to toughen up, buddy, that's just what I did. I built myself a stronger heart so it don't break no more. I grew myself a second skin that was thicker than before. When you're looking in the mirror now, I am all you see. Welcome to the new old me. So we're ripping off the rich so we can give it to the poor. Guys like us can see the world from both sides of the law.
give me credit, 'cause I know there's credit due. I just taught you bits and tricks, and the rest was up to you.
Got my future covered because I've learned from your mistakes. And I can run big rings around the phonies and the fakes.
And if you die, well, it's not my responsibility. Welcome to the new old me.
Yeah, well, I can do just what I want while I'm stupid, young and free. Welcome to the new old me.
That's a song that deserves applause. Angus Gill and Steve Earle, The New Old Me. Now, what do you think of that as a lyric video?
I'll tell you what, if you're ever going to do a lyric video with all the movement and the words and the background picture footage, it's excellent. Yeah, that's what I'd like to see.
Yeah. I mean, it was great, wasn't it? I mean, okay, the words are there, but there was stuff happening in the background, and quite a bit of detail happening in the background.
Can you hear that in the background?
Sounds of silence? No.
No, lorikeets were coming. Lorikeets are out there.
I've got my headsets, and
lorikeets were coming through my headset. Maybe I got mine turned up way too much. Nice video, nice sound. Really, the Australian voice, the Australian country style.
But also, I think our friends in the USA will love that with Steve Earle. What
was that album come out last year he brought out, or was that the year before? I've got that in the system somewhere, but I'll find it. I'll come back to that at a later date because, as usual, I pull these things out of the air and I'm never prepared.
I saw Steve at Reesby Workers a few years back,
right?
With was it the Mastertons on stage, I think, and Steve, I guess, I mean, like any artist, you go along to hear, I guess, the classic song, and it's that always that artists want to promote their new music, but they know that if they don't play the song that's made them famous, the crowd's going to go home. So you're sitting there and you're going, oh yeah, good music, Steve, good music.
So many artists do that. They'll regretfully, they'll painfully,
and the last song,
everyone's there to see,
Copperhead Road,
and he sung it 10 million and 25 times, and he just goes, well, I've got a new album, my new album,
and he was sociable and personal. He then sat outside and talked to people and signed CDs and signed albums. So that's what you want.
He's had a little bit of tragedy too in his life over the last short while. I read this week he's dedicating a new song to his son, so that's going to be lovely to hear when that comes out.
Yeah.
That was only in an email I got recently, so that mustn't be too far away because that was from a...
Well, I guess it's quite often, emotional highs and emotional lows that trigger songwriters into writing some of their best songs. So I'll really be looking forward to listening to Steve's new song.
All right, that was great. And
well, Jonesy, one of the comments we got last week, one of the feedback, they said, geez, that Dingo guy is a bit prepared. And
he's organised.
He's organised.
And I told him, I said, why else would I bring him in? For them good looks, plus he's organised.
Well, the other thing is I tend to forget a lot of things, so I need paperwork around me. So what have you got for me next, Jonesy?
Okay, well, what have I brought to the table this week? I'll tell you what. I had a great phone interview this week on Australian Radio Indie.
Oh, that was me.
Well, that was another one. You were on a show. That show's been and gone. We'll probably get it on again. But I had a couple of people on interviews. We're going to run an interview show Saturdays on the radio station. So after lunch on Saturdays, if you're chilling out at home and you want to listen to a few musicians talk about a few things on their music scene, I've got some lovely interviews lined up this weekend. But one of them was Claude Fonseca from the beautiful band
Lapis Sky.
There you go. And
That's a great name. That is a great name for a band.
I asked him that question too. Why that name? But and it's Lapis.
Lapis. It's a
blue stone.
It's a blue stone. Only
with sparkle, some sort of sparkle things in it as well.
Mined in Afghanistan.
Well, there you go. Well, see, that's why I bring him here, people. But that's Claude's favourite stone. So there's another word, lapis, and then another Greek sort of a name. And he just said, I can't use that as a band name. And then when he Googled it, there was a band with that name. Oh. So he said, blue like the sky.
Well, and that's one of the things that I guess when people come from overseas and come to Australia, they look up at our sky and they just go, that is so blue. I mean, such that we get such beautiful skies.
Oh, especially
blue skies in Australia.
Werris Creek, where I come from, we talked about that last week, has the supposedly, let me read it in the comments, people, but the best sunsets in Australia is at Werris Creek because it's right over the Great Dividing Range in the Liverpool Plains, and then it comes up the slope towards the town where the rail line is, and all the town just looks to the west, and when that sun sets, it's golden and absolutely sensational.
Oh, I hope we've got no listeners in Broome or Western Australia because they'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah, but they got water.
Yeah,
looking west. Wouldn't they?
Yeah, they'd be sunsetting over water generally.
No, well, I'm talking about. I think it was. It won some award a few years back.
Yeah, okay.
People all around the country said, "Where can you take the best sunset photos?" Anywhere, and the good old Werris Creek boys won it.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'll tell you what we'll do. Since we had a call last week, we called Andy and surprised him when he was...
we got him out of the shower. Thank you.
Let me just try something similar, and I'll give old Claude from Lapis Sky a ring.
And we'll see what happens.
We'll just see. This is live radio, people.
This is live radio.
And I press the button.
Well, you're doing that. I'll just tell my... So, I guess my doorbell doesn't work. So I put a little sign on my doorbell.
Yep.
Like me, the doorbell doesn't work. Right?
Yeah.
Knock on the door hard and give me some time to put on some pants, right? It was a bit of a joke.
Yeah.
So this morning I'm getting ready for your program, running around the house. Someone knocks on the door and I'm thinking, I did my washing last night. I've just got out of the shower. I've got the towel around, so I had to go and stick my head out the door to the delivery man. And he wasn't looking for my place.
All right. Yep. Let me just try that again. Hello, Claude.
Yeah, speaking.
Jonesy. Yes, sorry for that little... we were trying to do a surprise phone call, but the surprise was on us because the desk and the phone didn't...
Now, we have to ask, did we get you out of the shower, Claude?
What's that? No, mate, but I can wet myself down if you like.
No, mate, that's fine.
We've just got form so far. Yeah, we have 50% of people we phone. We've just got out of the shower. So,
okay, no, unfortunately not this time, mate.
Okay.
No, Claude. I was just talking to John, and I was just saying the interview we had this week. We're talking about the band Lapis Sky, and first of all he asked why the name, and I tried to explain to him that it's the stone lapis.
Lapis lazuli.
Lazuli, yeah, that's it. And John was explaining to me that it's from Afghanistan or somewhere.
Yeah, it's only found in a couple of places in the world, and Afghanistan, one of the main places. I think it's also found, I believe, maybe in Mexico or somewhere like that, but it's only in a couple of places in the world. Yeah. Yeah,
well, like most listeners, that interview is going to go live to air on Saturday at midday, so that's on Australian Radio Indie Internet Radio. But we were talking a lot of things, but one thing John was saying, I used to play Lapis Sky a lot down at the country station, and I said, I said, that's right, and it was the fantastic song from the first album, First Impressions. Yeah. What could you tell us about?
It had a bit of a country feel, didn't it?
Was that? Doesn't it? It was that lovely, that lovely modern, contemporary sort of sound, which is very unusual for your band.
Us, we like to have a surprise or two on an album, and that was something that I'd written.
Yeah.
Actually, prior to that, and I'd actually played it with years before that in another band, but we never actually recorded it.
Okay.
And it was always one of my favourite little songs, and I just actually brought it to this band at some point and said, look, it's a great song. The guitar player, the guitar player Charles actually really loved the song, and I just said, oh, let's see if we can introduce it live first and see what sort of reaction we get, because as you said, we're not traditionally that sort of band. And the live show that we do, we didn't know whether we were going to be able to incorporate a song like that into the actual set.
To be honest, you're such a great band that's so diverse. So you've got so much contemporary style, the funk and the soul, the rock. You're a band that's sort of got it all, and you're another band that's a Sydney band that's, unless you're in the music scene, you're very close to the members of the bands. It's hard to, you're like the underground of the music scene, if you know what I'm saying, like Lapis Sky. Yeah.
Totally agree with you, mate. Looking, that's definitely the truth. But I think one thing that goes in our favour is if we tend to get our foot in the door with someone, they tend to stick with us, and they'll keep an eye out for when we're playing gigs, and they monitor our social media for little tidbits. I don't know whether you noticed with our guitar player again, Charles, just
his artwork.
He entered the Archibald Prize, and
did you know that, John?
Wow.
Yeah,
multi-talented.
And he's in the finals. He's not just entered it.
Yeah,
he's a finalist.
Is the first time that he actually has been hung in the finals. So he's entered 5 times, and this is 5th time lucky.
So we're allowed to know. Oh no, you're about to tell me. Okay.
Yeah. He painted a picture of. Oh, maybe you're not. I think you can.
Oh well, I think because they've. I mean,
it's public now. It's out in the gallery.
Yeah. Yeah, he painted a picture of the Liberal politician Matt Keenan, or
the energy minister, is it? Energy
maybe
resources.
That's got something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yep.
And maybe he got hung this time because of the political component. But he's done a great picture of Mossy, I think, the year before. Did you see that one?
I certainly did. He's leaning shirtless on his guitar, and actually, what I'll do. If we can get some permission off Charles, I'll just put a little clip bit into the video here, but I won't do that until I get the official approval.
Oh, look, I'm sure it'll be cool, but it's probably it's on social media, so I'm sure.
Okay.
You can just lift it off that. There's the link with the 5 pictures that he's painted over the last 5 years. Now, here's an interesting bit of trivia for you guys.
Yep.
If you look at that latest picture of Matt. He's wearing a silver...
Yeah, like a spaceman suit.
Yeah, and here's the bit of inside information. That actual jumper is a Lapis Sky jumper that we used in the last film clip.
Wow.
The spaceman song. And we all...
right, okay.
We all shot separately.
Yep.
And in front of a green screen, in various positions, flying the spaceship and playing, singing the song and playing the instrument.
Oh, okay. And looking forward to seeing this when it comes out. Yeah,
so it's actually a really cool clip, but hopefully he gave it a bit of a wash before that poor guy had to wear it.
I'll tell you what, at first I looked at the picture and I thought, who's this? You're like, why would he paint this person? And then I thought he's holding a waratah with flames coming out of the waratah and wearing a silver, like a gentleman with as much hairstyle as me, I think. And
well, that kind of a futuristic. Now, I'll explain that concept to you.
Yep.
The flaming waratah was a symbol of him being in a really difficult situation, as we had the fires at the end of last year.
Oh, of course.
So that's the symbolism of that, and the portfolio he has of the environment and all that sort of stuff. That's the futuristic
Okay. Wow.
spaceman.
Well, I didn't know.
you know,
I
Star
looked
Trek
at I looked
jumper.
at the outfit and I went, why would he paint him wear something like that? And I thought that's really futuristic. And now all the dots have connected, and man, that's
Yeah, it makes sense,
Yeah,
eh?
it does make sense. And so I'll just check with Charles. But if we can put a little picture up, we'll put it up about now, and we'll so everyone can see how talented
He's a
you're a multi-talented artist in more than one way.
Yeah, and look, he always, with Dan, of course, our keyboard, he always has a massive creative input. It's good having a guy like that on your side because he does know the finer points that a Philistine like me will often miss out, and all those subtleties, that we kind of overlook and probably don't even notice he notices. And although it's a bit of a pain in the arse for us, we tend to. Charles.
Keep you on the right track. Keep you informed.
That's right.
Well, the reason for the call is that I would really like to show our listeners and our viewers on this show that fantastic. Was it the very first film clip? I'm not too sure about that.
It was one of the very early ones. It was.
Yeah.
It was a late after we launched the album. We did 2 clips. Was the first or the second one, and after the Everyone's a Winner clip.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it definitely grabbed my attention, especially in the early days when I was introduced to you blokes in the band, and I just thought, what a great sound, what a great song, and John was only mentioning it to me about that song from that band Lapis Sky, so I just thought, geez, you know what, I've got his number.
He's got his number.
I'll give him a call, yeah, and thanks.
And we had a great chat the other day, so here's another one, eh?
Yeah, mate. I'll tell you what. Thanks for spending your time with us on the show, and we're going to get that film clip of Lapis Sky and that wonderful song off their very first album. And before we do that, it is www.lapissky.com, and for all things Lapis Sky, you can buy a couple of great albums and some merch and support your local artist, because you could always have hats and T-shirts and not to mention music plus download, and just support your local music scene. Especially
these days, mate, we'll come over to your house.
Well, that's a thing that's happening at the moment. That is, get an artist over to your house and have
a party.
Have a party.
Yeah,
well, at the moment, I think.
10 people.
Yeah, well, at the moment, it's still a matter of that's it. It's still a matter of depending on where you are in the world, various level of restrictions.
Man,
but
any rich people out there in the Sydney to Newcastle to Wollongong regions would like a band to play for them sitting in their lounge room, Lapis Sky have definitely put their hand up and come out to your place to play at the right price. All right, mate. Thanks for the chat. We're going to get that video on, and like I said, all things Lapis Sky is all the W's, lapissky.com, and check these boys out. They got some great material. Check out their YouTube channel as well. Like and subscribe to their YouTube channel, Lapis Sky. There's some great videos on there, and by the way, you guys do some awesome videos. Like
thanks, mate.
Your array of videos are definitely worth a look, and I think John will just say, yep, we'll have to get this. John's just given me a nudge saying our time frame is nearly up on this little session. So, all things Lapis Sky, check them out. Let's have a look at this video. I'll let you you can introduce it, my friend.
Okay, well, thanks, John and Jonesy, for having us. And this is our song First Impressions off the first album. A little clip and a great little tune. Enjoy.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
I'm alone when you're alone too. We should get together, baby, really soon. I reckon we don't even know your name. I suppose I've only got myself to blame. A lack of confidence, I guess. I'm scared I will fail the first impressions test. Light up in a smile. But I don't even know your name. I suppose I've only got myself to blame. A lack of confidence, I guess. I'm scared I will fail the first impressions test. I'm scared I will fail the first impressions test. I'm scared I will fail the first impressions test.
There we go.
Too many coloured, but
Too many-
there's a plate I should be putting on there, which I will do next week, and we can just change a few of these to different
Sound effects.
in different places. I want to get rid of that one because we've always got listeners. We don't need crickets.
No, I've got to get my Dingo one to you. Anyway, that was a great song by Lapis Sky. I think that's where we were heading with your applause. That's
Hang on. Just breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth.
Anyway, thanks for the radio interview, Claude and Cat G.
I'm feeling relaxed now. Especially after listening to First Impressions. What a beautiful song.
What a beautiful song. And Jonesy, are you changing outfits while I'm... that is, you're disappearing and coming back?
Magic of television. It is... yeah, well, you wear the flashy shirts as well. And,
are we going...
Are we going to have a quick look?
Close-up.
Oh, we will in a sec. But what
Okay.
I'll say is, like every time I see if I go to see a band, I like to support them by buying a bit of merch, and hence this band. Can you, the shirt, might have shrunk a bit in the dryer, but I'm struggling to keep it on in a nice, tidy fashion. But that's the old Love Child shirt. I've had that for a number of years. I've got big bands, all their shirts, but I'm more for the independent people like
Matt Cornell.
Matty Cornell. Yeah,
Matty signed that.
he did actually. I grabbed that off him at a gig up at West's in Newcastle with. He was there with Adam Brand, and his band was there. And was that
Was that the one?
Yeah.
Was that at Dora Creek when we went along?
No,
That was a different one.
No, not I got Dora Creek RSL. No, was it Bowling Club? Dora Creek.
Yeah,
Workers Club.
we went along to a gig when it was Adam Brand and the
That was at
Outlaws.
That one was at Toronto Workers.
Toronto Workers.
There's actually a video of that on Australian Radio Indie TV YouTube channel. and they're doing was the good year for the Outlaws.
Good year for the Outlaws.
Yeah,
and that's where we met the wonderful. I met you already knew Mick Spring.
Oh, Springy, yeah, he's
this big tall boy.
Big tall boy, lovely country music fan. Yeah, known him for a few years. I'll tell you what, what's his new business? The lawn mowing,
the lawn van,
lawn van man.
Yeah.
So if you're anywhere on the Central Coast, Newcastle, the lawn van man, and you'll see that picture right about now. There you go. That is the lawn van man.
Yeah,
and
support Mick. He's a great guy.
Great guy. He does it. Hey, I tell you what, he does a great job. I've had him at my place a few times in the old place I had, and a lovely guy. He loves his car racing.
He's life-saving.
He is a surf lifesaver, and a specialist in a certain aspect of that. I'm not sure if it's the spinal injuries or is it. He's got a specialty with the surf.
And he's not even a singer. We better get back to the music, I think.
Oh yeah, our mate Mick. A big shout out to you, my friend.
Big shout out to Mick. Yeah. Big shout out to Mick. Now, we were just sitting here talking. I'm going, Jonesy. We had
we're waffling.
Yeah, we had Angus Gill and Steve Jones. And
Steve
we had
Jones.
Steve Earle.
He's a great singer, that guy.
No, he's not. He was singing before. Trust me, he is not a great singer.
Talking about that, I've got a song co-written with a wonderful artist, LPL. So in the next few weeks, I'll get that one out too.
Okay,
but,
righto.
Yeah.
Anyway, Angus Gill and Steve Earle.
Earle. He should have been named Steve Jones.
Should have been, yeah.
He could have been famous. He could have been famous.
He could have been more famous. But we're a bit...
yeah, all right. Let's...
I think we probably need a female artist. So...
Ooh, a female artist.
So who do you say that is?
I'll tell you what, an artist who's charting well in the ARI top 10... actually, we should do a segment for that each week too because... well, not a segment, just a quick shout out on what the chart is. So the week 36 chart for the ARI, which is the most played and most requested songs of the week.
All
right. At number 10 this week was John Summers and his song Terrorized. That's a fantastic song. I'll have to introduce you to that. The wonderful Asher Moon, they're future kings and queens. Bailey, which is Colin Bailey from the wonderful band My Sex, and he's back in New Zealand with a band called Bailey, and his song is Dance My Dance at 8. Dave Evans, the original singer of AC/DC, would you believe he's still rocking it out now?
Wow.
Yeah, and he's a great guy too.
And you've changed T-shirt. Well, you had your AC/DC shirt on before.
I did have my AC/DC shirt, and well, there's someone saying we would like to talk, would we? Or let's have a look.
That might be Mick Springer getting a...
Yeah, it's someone requesting music for the radio station. I'll get that on for you, Kevin, very shortly.
That's live radio.
Live radio, yes.
TV again. Perhaps we need to slide that slider down.
We probably do, but, I like being live. It's just great. Okay, so 10, John Summers, Terrorized. 9, Asher Moon, Future Kings and Queens. And Asher Moon, if you're not too sure, the bass player is... Do you know who the bass player is for Asher Moon? Gary Beers. Okay. Do you know Gary Beers?
Oh. I'm your country music aficionado, Jonesy.
You've heard of a band called In Excess?
Yeah, I think I've
Just quietly?
Just quietly.
Well, he started a new band in LA, and they're called Asher Moon, and man, what a voice. It's like a new version of In Excess. They're fantastic.
Okay.
And, we'll talk about them at a later date. Colin Bailey's at 8 with... Dance My Dance. 7, Dave Evans with Badass Boy. That's the song. Number 6 is a fantastic band out of Melbourne. They're called Tramwreck, and lovely country blues sort of a sound. I'll get some of their music. I'm sure you must have heard them while you're listening to the station, my new trainee apprentice. They got Me Arrested, a lovely song. But at number 5 is Hayley Jensen.
So far... We've got
Hayley Jensen, number 5.
Okay, so far we've got one female on your list. So Hayley Jensen,
turning up the dial, and then at number 4 we've got Kevin Taylor, Scotch on Ice. At number 3 is Chantell Alexi and Treadmill.
Okay, so that's 2 females.
Yeah, and then Bad Star is number 2 with The Lucky One. That's a fantastic band too. I'll have to introduce you to them. And at number 1 this week was Black Whiskey, who have been there now 3rd week in a row with Whiskey Rock and Roll. They're like a rock AC/DC sort of a Oz pub rock sort of a style of a band, and very popular overseas for our overseas listeners. So there you go, Black Whiskey 1, Bad Star 2, Chantell Alexi 3, Kevin Taylor at 4, Hayley Jensen with Turning Up the Dial at 5, Tramwreck at 6, Dave Evans at 7, Bailey with Colin Bailey at 8, Asher Moon at 9, and John Semmers, the wonderful John Semmers. His album called Believe is one of the best pieces of music I've heard in a while, but I'll find that album for you to have a look at.
Okay.
That's the top 10 of the week, the ARI top 10 hot hits.
So I've got a decision now because we've got Chantell Alexi's album, Leather Holster.
Wonderful.
And perhaps we can do that second question now, because the first question was, you have to listen to what the first question was.
If you heard what the first question was, you have to write that answer into the comments to win a wonderful CD. We've got a few to give away. Wonderful Chantell Alexi. The album's Leather Holster. And if you like your country rock, country female vocalist, this is a wonderful album. Wonderful.
Okay,
album.
so what's your second question?
The second question for that is...
what colour is lapis?
That's
very
pretty good.
isn't it?
Okay.
What colour is lapis?
That's the second question. So if you write the answer to the first question down, put a little gap, and then write the answer to that question, what colour is lapis? And there you go.
Into the draw.
You'll go in, and we've got a few to ship out this week, so I'll get them out to you, lovely winners, when that's done, and I'll notify you via YouTube on the comments section. I'll definitely get back to you. All right.
Okay, so we had Chantell Alexi, or I was prepared, because you know how I like to be prepared. Yep. I actually had Hayley Jensen's new music video, but you know what? We might save that and organise a phone hookup.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go with her. Anyway, so let's go with Hayley. Yeah. So we've got Hayley's song.
I'll definitely cut that other bit out because it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah. Okay. Righto. So I'm going to go with Hayley. I'm going to
select
Hayley as our the next artist up, female. Yep. And now Hayley, I guess if you're Australian, you know Hayley because she was a household name. In Australian Idol, came forth, but you know what? Australia embraced her. She put out some wonderful music, and you know what? She keeps putting out
quality
wonderful
music.
She's
got a beautiful voice, voice. Yeah.
And now she's moved on to
I find her style is like the way country music is evolving. Mm-hmm. It's gone from she was very much a pop queen, and then she's gone into the country market and went a little bit slower, a little bit country, and the newer music that I've seen lately, especially the one we're playing here at the moment.
That's from the Turning Up the Dial album.
Yeah, and that's the title track from that album.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a great song, and that's number 5 this week on the ARI Top 10 Hot Hits.
So just having a quick look in her bio, that was produced by Grammy and award-winning producer in Nashville, Tennessee. It was the third highest-selling Australian country album on release, and it was the second highest-selling digital album on iTunes after Keith Urban. So that was a big album.
No, great album. Great success for that little. Let's hope the sales was as good as what it sounds, because it's a great album. Great music, great song, and you want to get that on.
Well, I'm just reading 2019 was full of highlights for Hayley. So, she was recognised by Kick. She went off to the Calgary Stampede.
Wow, yep.
And I guess she then hooked up while she was over there with one of my friends over there, Amy Nelson. And Amy then came out here. So it's all that, once again, that country music. One person goes, hooks up with another, that person then comes out.
Music
and
sense.
it's just fantastic. Anyway,
connections,
while she was over in Canada, she did some co-writing with one of my favourite bands, Canadian bands, the Roadhammers. I mean,
Oh yeah, the road hammers, mud. That's the song, isn't it? Is that the one?
That's one of their songs.
Oh, I
Mud.
love that. Love that.
Anyway, let's get Hayley's song on.
Yep. Okay, let's get Hayley's song, which is charting very well on the ARI top 10 hot hits.
Turning up the dial, and we'll contact Hayley's people and see if we can get her on
let's have a
next
chat.
week or the week after, because she's got a great animated video out at the moment.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I haven't seen that one yet.
And
I'll tell you one little thing too. But Hayley, like a lot of artists, they do their live streams. Like I think Facebook Music is now, because they're singing other people's property, like doing cover songs. I think Facebook's now cracking down on that, and they want to get the copyright corrected. That's the new thing with Australian law with the what do they call it? The carriages, the social media carriage. They call it carriages, because they're sending out information, and so they want bands like Storm Cellar, for instance. We played them last week. They do a social media interactive show. It come out on Friday. It's on at 10:30 every Friday morning, Australian time. That's basically lined up for the Thursday night around 7:30ish or 7.
And the US market.
For the US market. And what they do, you can ask to be in a studio audience, and they connect you via
one of those Zoom programs.
Yeah,
or
it's not
something
Zoom,
like that.
but it's one of those, Discord. They do it through Discord.
Okay.
And then they put it live on Twitch TV. So they've got a moderator on Twitch TV, and Twitch TV, if you haven't been to that, it's a site for a lot of gamers, like people playing games. But now the music scene's getting involved in it.
Okay.
And Twitch TV, go to Twitch TV, look up Storm Cellar, and you'll see some live. They only stay up for about 8 days, and then they get deleted.
Okay.
So, in saying this, I've been looking at quality sort of bands when they do stuff. I try to bypass the Backyard Boys and get to the quality, because everyone's desperate to sing and perform. Everyone's trying to get their stuff out there. But Hayley does this fantastic live stream on a Thursday night. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it could be 7 or 8. I'm not sure. You'd have to check out her social media pages. But her YouTube channel, they live stream on her YouTube channel. She does a live performance and interacts with the audience, and it's wonderful. And they're there to look week after week. They're all backdated. So if you haven't seen them, mate, you need to go home and do some homework and look at Hayley's
you
work.
You seem to be giving me homework. Okay, so let's go. So if you're wondering how Hayley, Hayley, Hayley Jensen, Jensen. So you look up Hayley Jensen.
Yeah, and we're going to see Turning Up the Dial.
Turning Up the Dial with Hayley Jensen. Push those buttons.
Here we go.
It's not about the money in the kitty. You ain't seen the It's Australian Radio Indie. Streaming live on the World Wide Web.
There we go. The crowd loves and Australia loves the great Hayley Jensen. Turn it up.
Turning up the dial.
Turning up the. I told you I had short-term memory issues, Michael.
Yeah, Michael.
Oh, Jonesy. Oh, you know.
Yeah, you know why? I've changed.
Oh my God! What have you been doing? I mean, I'm sitting here.
Mate, you look that way, and next minute, no, I go and change my outfit.
I think we need a phone booth installed like your Superman.
I've got superpower, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
My superpower is forgetting things.
Yeah, well, we're all going down that road, my good little friend. All right, so we've heard Hayley Jensen. By the way, we haven't shown the lovely people a close-up of your...
you need to
get that camera.
You need to grab that camera.
Hey, peace and love.
Well, that's the ending, Jones. You can't just go saying peace and love.
I say that everywhere.
Okay.
You can control it if you want.
Oh, no.
Oh, I can.
No, you do it. And, Yep. So this week we got some scorpions and the whiskey business hat. And
whiskey business.
And yeah, whiskey business, a local, I guess, country rock band. This hat is probably the most travelled, most travelled whiskey business hat in the world because I've actually worn it around the world. Wore it in America. I wore it on the train from New York to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So great hat, whiskey business.
There you go, whiskey business.
Camouflage, and people would actually comment on the hat. Now, yeah, we will see. We'll see what comments we get about the scorpions before
Let me just play cameraman again and go. Oh, there you go. There is a real close up and personal. Oh, would you like one of those jumping out at you? You've probably seen a live one, have you, in your travels?
Oh, yeah. It's even worse if you find them in your sleeping bag.
No thanks. I'm an old scout camper, but no scorpions.
No scorpions. Okay.
Just the occasional brown snake.
Okay.
I can tell you stories with brown snakes, but we'll that is for another day. I'll just
pop that over
whack that over to there, and hopefully it's
we're getting back
close enough.
Getting close to the end. So
yeah, close to the end. Let's thanks everyone again for tuning in and supporting us. Love the comments, all on our We've got I got phone calls of bands wanting to get involved. So we've
and I had feedback from radio publicists. So after this week, we'll probably get even more.
No, well, you know what? We're trying not to bombard the music, but over an hour we could get 5 tracks in, I suppose.
If we talk less.
But people tell me what. In the comments, who would you like to see us interview? Maybe who would you like to see on the show? Maybe we'll get someone in live. I've had a couple of friends saying we'll come up and be the band. You can swing the camera, which I need a cameraman if we do that.
We do need a cameraman. We'll need an extra microphone. They're a band. They just bring their own stuff. Yeah,
and we can have the band over in the corner, just like the Tonight Show. And when we come back from the break, the band's playing, and then we swing back to us. I'll have to hire a cameraman for that.
Geez, that does sound very, very multimedia and fancy.
Fancy schmancy, but we're growing.
Okay.
And a shout out to our mates in the States.
Yeah. So, thanks for sharing a part of your week with us, no matter what time you listen. Trust you've enjoyed the music.
Yep.
Don't forget to check out this week's artist online and give them some love. Just to recap, we had Angus Gill in The Seasons of Change and Steve Earle in The New Old Me. Lapis Sky with First Impressions
off the Lapis Sky 1 album.
And Hayley Jensen, Turning Up the Dial from the album. Turning Up the Dial.
Yep.
So follow them on social media, stream them, let them know you heard them on Australian Radio Indie. And the artist links are in the description. Yep. So we'll be back next week with a fresh playlist. Don't forget about the competition.
Yeah, want your comments, people. Want your comments in the description down underneath. And like and subscribe at the YouTube channel would be fantastic. And, why don't we... got much else to say?
Well, let's just a reminder, support Tony and Tim at What's Happening. If it's safe.
What's Happening Entertainment Radio.
And if it's safe where you live, go out and see a gig. Don't forget to buy some merchandise. Be kind to each other. Stay safe. Have a wonderful week. Listen to some new music. See you again.
Yep, peace and love.
And peace and love. Bye for now.
We used to go out with the jingle. We used to go out with... We used to go out and say, hey, we're going, bye-bye. But this week...
We're going to take it out with Chantell Alexi, who's given us the album to give away. Have a good week, people.
Chantell Alexi off the fantastic album, Leather Holster.
Bye for now.
Peace and love.
Peace and love. Bye.
Toodaloo, my friends and our mates in the States. Next week.
I've had my pretty little way with you. Pulled at your heartstrings once or twice. When love's at stake, you've gotta grab life by the balls. Well, it ain't the time for playing nice. You tried to leave and left me broken, and in my grief I misbehaved. When love's at stake, you've gotta seize every moment, but it's not those moments that I crave. Well, tempest flaring, I went past the point of caring, but now, did I ever think things through? I pride myself on being a well-behaved young girl, but I'm not ladylike when it comes to you. I've set up here upon your pedestal. You won't come back to bring me down. I know you think that I won't sink down to your level, but for you I'd gladly renounce my crown. Well, tempest flaring, I went past the point of caring, but now, did I ever think things through? I pride myself on being a well-behaved young girl, but I'm not a ladylike when it comes to you. No, I'm not ladylike when it comes to you. I've had my pretty little way with you. I grabbed the bull right by the horns. You gave me roses in the spring of '06, and they wilted, leaving me with thorns. Oh. Old flames should never be rekindled, but I broke the rules and looked you up. I swore I wouldn't let you slip away this time, but yet again, you're my lost love. So should I sit here quietly now, pretend I never heard your name, be empathetic to your hearsay situation, and move on to so-called better days? Well, tempest flaring, I went past the point of caring, but now, did I ever think things through? I pride myself on being a well-behaved young girl, but I'm not a ladylike when it comes to you. No, I'm not ladylike when it comes to you. No, I'm not ladylike when it comes to you.
I'd like to tell you about a remarkable radio station.
Australian radio.
You have a remarkable mouth.
We have a remarkable radio station.
All the stuff you want to hear.
Australian radio.
Keep it locked on all day.
Australian radio.
Australian radio needs you. In our quest to promote Australian music, we need to reach even more listeners. We are asking you to tell all your friends about us, like our Facebook page, and send us your feedback on anything at all with regards to the music we play. and what you would like to hear more or less of. We are the new kids on the block, but we are here for you guys, our listeners. So tell all your friends about Australian radio.